As part of our plan for jobs, I announced a brand new Green Homes grant scheme which is now open for applications.
Rishi Sunak on his own YouTube channel last October promoting his Green Homes grant scheme. Amid great fanfare, a £2 billion boost for the economy and of course a way to help save the planet. But now, less than 5 months on, the scheme seems to be in chaos. And there's talk Mr. Sunak may want to scrap it. This is the Michael Crick report for Mail Plus.
So how does it work? The government will provide eligible homeowners with a voucher funding up to 2/3 of the cost of home improvements up to £5,000.
And people on low incomes can claim up to £10,000. Green home grants can pay towards jobs like loft or cavity insulation or solar panels or solar water heating systems, such as those which Giles Hanford installs. But he, like other builders we've spoken to, says the government still owes him thousands of pounds in grant money for jobs on which he's had to fork out thousands in costs already. On this job in Hertfordshire, for instance, the homeowners paid their share, the government hasn't.
This was before Christmas, and we have yet to be paid for by the government's contribution.
And is that typical?
I'm afraid it has been so far. Yes, we've installed so far about 6 systems that we haven't been paid for. So that's a lot of money outstanding. There's an awful lot more systems that we'd like to install. We've been given some vouchers to enable us to install them, but at the moment we simply can't afford to.
So it doesn't seem to be very well run.
What we're really looking for is some clear communication. We'd like to be able to phone someone up and get an honest answer so we know where we stand.
The homeowner here agrees the government needs to get a move on.
They put an incredible amount of effort in. They've done a phenomenal job installing it during the winter. And if they need to be paid by the government, they need to be paid as soon as possible.
Insulation or cleaner heating systems can cut some people's bills by as much as £600.
The government say they've issued about £100 million of Green Home grant vouchers so far for about 25,000 grants. But that's a small fraction of what they hope for. Now it's feared the £1 billion or so left in unspent funds from this financial year won't be carried into the next year. And maybe worse. Reports last week said that the Green Homes grant scheme is doing so badly that it might actually be scrapped, and the announcement might be made within a matter of days. A government spokesman publicly said that because of the pandemic, there's an understandable reluctance on the part of the public to welcome tradespeople into their homes. Many residents applied for Green Home grants months ago and are still stuck in the system. It's all too bureaucratic, says Paula Higgins, who runs the Homeowners Alliance.
We have people that can't get installers close to their home. They can't get them to come and visit. They can't get 3 quotes. They can't find anyone to access to get more information. They can't get the vouchers. But we have not heard that people are reluctant to have people come into their homes to get this work done. And we have to remember that this is a long-term program. There will be people who are naturally we know that people are building work done in their homes. They're improving their homes. It's a really good opportunity to get these extra measures done. So we don't believe what government's saying on that.
The potential is certainly there, says the Energy and Climate Intelligence Unit, a think tank.
The big issue is consumer demand, and that is there from the evidence that we're seeing. It takes a lot of certainty for installers to be able to invest in new workers and invest in training. And if we see a more long-term plan, then it could be the case. I think there's a lot of merit in the Green Homes grant. We just need to sort out the teething issues, and scrapping it altogether is certainly not going to do that.
But the government say people don't want tradespeople in their homes at the moment because of COVID.
Yeah, and I think that's actually quite an insulting line to be saying to these families who do want their homes made more energy efficient, they want to save money in their bills, to tell them that they don't want tradespeople in their homes when the demand is showing that there's 100,000 people who do want it, and that's very disappointing.
The government accept there are teething problems, and ministers have complained to the American firm which administers the scheme. Everyone says, though, it has huge potential.
Well, we were getting a call in late October, early November, about every 3.5 minutes with interest. So I don't think everyone's terrified to have someone in their home. Potentially, it's a terrific scheme for to save an enormous amount of energy, generate a large number of jobs, and there are people who are out of work because their jobs have suffered because of COVID, who could be retrained in this industry and would like to be part of that.
The scheme will make homes across England greener and cheaper to run by helping people cut their energy bills and carbon emissions, and could support over 100,000 green jobs.
Yet now the scheme to which Rishi Sunak put his personal signature seems in big doubt. We may learn more when Rishi Sunak delivers his budget next week. But it's hard to believe that the Chancellor will want to scrap this scheme altogether when his name has been so closely linked with it. Also, it may not be good politics to scrap such a scheme at a time when Britain is preparing to host the next World Climate Change Conference in Glasgow this autumn.